friends, welcome to my channel. Today we will talk about Elisa, its principle and different types of Elisa. Elisa is basically an antigen-antibody reaction and it stands for enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay. Actually, ELISA is a plate-based assay technique which is used for detecting and quantifying substances such as peptides, antibodies, hormones, etc. A number of enzymes have been used for ELISA such as alkaline phosphatase, horseradish peroxidase, and beta-galactosidase. In an ELISA assay, the antigen or in some cases antibodies must be mobilized to a solid surface directly or via the use of antibody. The secondary antibody is conjugated with a molecule amenable for detection such as enzyme or fluorophore. A suitable substrate binds the enzyme to produce color and the intensity of color gives an indication of the amount of antigen or antibody. So, there are different types of ELISA. For example, first one, direct ELISA. Here what happens, this is a well. We are not looking at the whole microtiter plate. You can see here the yellow particles. These yellow particles are antigen. The antigen is immobilized to the surface of the multi-well plate, means they are coated to adhere the particular type of antibody. Now, when we add the serum sample to the well and antibody specific for the antigen and directly conjugated to detection molecules such as HRP, as we talked earlier, binds to the antigen and give the result. Now let's see the another type of ELISA, that is indirect ELISA. This is similar to the direct ELISA as the antigen is immobilized to the surface of the well. Now when we add the serum, the primary antibody binds to the antigen which are specific for them. After that, we add the secondary antibody which binds to the Fc receptor of the primary antibody. The secondary antibody is conjugated with the enzyme. Now we'll add substrate because enzyme interact with substrate to give a product, and due to the reaction of the enzyme to the substrate, it can convert the color of the solution in the well. If no color is visible, it means that no antibody present for that antigen we test for. The third type of ELISA is sandwich ELISA, which is used to detect the antigen in the bloodstream. Now here the well contains antibodies adhered to it. Now we add the serum which contains antigen and it specifically binds to the primary, or you can say capture antibody. After attachment, we add secondary antibody here which is linked with an enzyme, and that's why we call this technique enzyme linked assay. So the secondary antibody also binds specifically to the antigen to its another epitope. Now we will add the substrate. Enzyme substrate reaction takes place and it will change the color of the solution. And by looking over the color, the amount of the antibody can be depicted. Okay, so now look at the competitive ELISA, which is slightly different and also known as inhibition ELISA. This assay measures the concentration of an antigen by detection of signal interference. Here, the reference antigens are already mobilized on the surface of the well. Now the pre-incubated sample, that is, there can be an antigen attached to the antibody or there sometimes only antibodies present, is then added to the well. So depending on the amount of antigen in the sample, more or less free antibodies will be available to bind the reference antigen. After that, we add antibody here conjugated or linked with enzyme which will bind to the Fc portion of the first antibody that was from the sample. Now here also we will add substrate which react to the enzyme and produce color. But here is a change, that is, the higher the concentration of antigen in the original sample here, the lower the final signal, just as in the cytokinin specific RIA, radioimmunoassay. So that's it. Thanks for watching and I hope you like the video.